So it's been rumored for a while now that Sony plans to release a new high-end APS-C camera in just a few weeks from today, and this one I'm actually really excited for, and you should be too. All right, let's get it. What's going on, my friends? My name is Jason. I hope you're all doing absolutely amazing today. Now, if you're new to my channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. That would be very much appreciated. Now, Sony have some catching up to do with their APS-C range cameras. As you can see here, I've got the Nex 5R, I've got the a6400 and the OG a6000 with the anamorphic lenses right here. But this is one section that Sony really need to capitalize on, and I guess Fujifilm is probably the uncrowned APS-C hybrid mirrorless camera in that sort of APS-C range or Super 35 range. Now, Super 35 or APS-C cameras aren't really rare to see specifically for video. Now, Blackmagic has the incredible Blackmagic Pocket 6K and 6K Pro, which for price and quality, you just can't beat it on the market right now. That's for video. They're not hybrid cameras. These ones are able to shoot photo and video. Now, this market seems to be doing quite well in terms of sales. That's probably why they're still continuing on with the APS-C range. And I still think it's a really good idea because I still use the a6400 in my wedding photography. I still use the a6000 today. They're still fantastic cameras. They do just need obviously a decent upgrade. And obviously one thing with APS-C cameras is that they're super affordable. Everyone can afford it. It's great for budget filmmakers. It's great for beginner photographers, beginner filmmakers, and it's great for professionals like me who want to pair an APS-C camera with my FX6, for instance. But there are some weaknesses in the APS-C cameras in Sony right now. Quite simply, 10-bit 422, 60 frames per second in 4K, and the flip out screen. Now, these would be the three biggest features that I personally would like to see in a new APS-C camera, and this really excites me enough that I actually would consider selling my A7 III for this new APS-C camera. Now, I don't know what it's called, a6900, a6800, a6700, a7000, I don't know what it's called, but regardless of the fact that they hopefully will bring out those three features in the APS-C camera, that would get me to sell the a7 III. So, before we get into it, what would you like to see in the new APS-C camera? Is it 4K 120? Would you like to see that? Is it the flip out screen? What do you want to see? Comment below and let's discuss. Now, Sony are absolutely due for a brand new sensor because they've had this 6K sensor since the a6300, which I actually did have at one point. And many would actually be happy to see at least 4K 60. Personally, I think they're going to skip the 4K 120 and leave it for the full frame cameras. And they potentially will add the 1080 240 frames per second. That would be a fantastic feature for these because currently it's 1080 at 120 frames per second. So just before we continue, hit that like button. This spreads this video to much more people on this platform. Let's get back into the video. Now, if they did put the 4K 60 in the new APS-C camera, this would pretty much dominate sales and it will really change the APS-C game for Sony, specifically for current APS-C users who want to stick with the APS-C system, or like I said before, professionals like me who actually want to utilize a compact camera in their arsenal to pair with their full frame camera. Now, as for the megapixels, I have heard that it may be a 32 megapixel sensor. In all honesty, I don't really care about megapixels. It's not really necessary, especially when it comes to videos, but for photos, have you seen Chris Howe's video with the A7S III for photography? That video is mind-blowing. Seeing the a7S III paired or in comparison to a medium format 100 megapixel camera, like Peter McKinnon couldn't even see the difference. Like, that blew my mind. It was incredible. So in terms of megapixels, in my opinion, it doesn't worry me. When it comes to wildlife photographers and sports photographers who want to reframe and post, that could potentially be a game changer for them because, you know, having more megapixels to work in post will allow you to have a little bit more cropping and a little bit more detail after that crop. So Sony aren't really foreign to pro APS-C cameras. They previously had the FS5 and FS7 cameras, which are in the cinema range. They produced incredible images with 10-bit codec. So I really can't wait to see what they can do with 10-bit color, because that would be fantastic for APS-C users to get the most color out of their footage. And it'll be fantastic for me because I could pair it with the FX6 and I could have really similar colors. Now, one thing I will imagine that Sony would be utilizing is the new SD card, the CF Express type A card. Now that is in the FX6, it's in the FX3, it's in the A7S3. Absolutely fantastic. It's in the A1 as well. It's absolutely fantastic. You can use obviously a regular SD card in that exact same slot, but this allows for such faster readouts, and faster readouts means better for wildlife and sports photographers. And then hopefully faster readout would potentially mean faster frame rates for photography. So at the moment it's what, 10 to 11 frames per second? Would imagine maybe 15 to 20 frames per second. That would be, you know, fantastic for the wildlife photographers, sports photographers as well. And to obviously have that fast readout, we're gonna need that new Bionz XR processor that's in the FX3, in the A7S3, the A1, and the FX6. Now, having a faster readout will also mean potentially less rolling shutter, because the a6400's rolling shutter, it really does suck and it does make a difference. I know you're not going to be whipping the pan from side to side, but if a car or something big goes past frame, it's gonna be slanted and it looks quite weird, to be honest. So having a faster readout, better rolling shutter performance, that would be great. Now, also another thing that Bionz XR processor can actually do is the new Sony menu system. Now, when I had the A7S3, incredible. The new menu system is just so intuitive, it's perfectly laid out, and I absolutely love it. So it would be a great feature to have in the new APS-C camera. So what I'm really excited about with the new APS-C camera is utilizing my Sirui anamorphic lenses. I've got all three right here, the 50, the 24, the 35, and hopefully getting my hands on the 75. It's gonna be absolutely incredible to have those four on APS-C cameras rather than using it on my full frame cameras and punching into APS-C mode. But getting the most out of these with the, you know, 4K 60 or 4K 50, whatever I'm gonna be using, will be incredible. So like I said before, what have I missed? Comment below, what would you like to see in this new APS-C camera? Is this something that you may actually consider getting as opposed to moving up to full frame? I know I certainly will get it in my hands if it does have 10-bit codec, and I will definitely sell the A7 III, even though this has been my workhorse for the last however many years it came out. 3 years now, I think it's been out for. Absolutely beast camera, but I cannot wait to see a brand new high-end APS-C camera for Sony. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. That would be absolutely amazing. Like I said, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you already haven't, or if you're new to my channel. I'd really like to join my community, because we've built a pretty decent community here. Get active in the comments, hit that like button. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, let's get it.